Hello, and welcome to another One Piece chapter review. This will be chapter 1110. It's titled Planetfall, which sort of lends a whole lot more credence to the idea that yes, Saint Saturn was summoning the other Elder Stars at the end of the last chapter. So in this chapter, we're probably going to get a massive reveal of the elders, all of their devil fruit powers, their transformations, and if all of their powers will be similar to Saturn's, or if maybe they have different varying kinds of powers. Maybe we'll get some explanation on what that telepathy between them was, if that is a manifestation of their devil fruit power, or if that's something entirely different. Haki doesn't do telepathy quite like that, so maybe it's a form of Haki or use of Haki that we haven't really seen fully fleshed out yet. We did have Shanks kind of use a sort of telepathy, but that was kind of more intimidation at a distance than like direct telepathic communication. And then they have the whole summoning ritual thing, so that shows that they are linked somehow. And Saturn, at the very least, has the ability to summon the others. Maybe with all the elders there, we'll get an idea, some clarification on what Blackbeard's mission is. If he only needed Katarina Devon to touch one of the elders, or if she needs to touch all five of them. My thought is only one is necessary, and it's kind of seeming that way, since at last, when we last saw the Blackbeards, they were trying to get off the island. Of course, we'll get to see probably some indication on what's going to happen with the Buster Call. It's probably going to be ended at this stage. Well, not ended, but repelled for the most part and survived. So with that, let's hop right into the chapter. Got a cover page, cover story, Oni Child Yamato, and the Holy Inari Shrine Pilgrimage. Volume 2, I'm going to travel all over Wano, just like Odin. Which is exactly the thoughts that I had about Yamato. That Yamato will have to travel all around Wano the way Odin did. So that's apparently going to happen during these cover stories. So that's good. We got a note from Oda. I'm having trouble getting the cat meme music video out of my head. The one with the cat getting in trouble is too cute. Not sure what cat meme video he's referring to, but I'm sure probably be able to find out. Might be a Japanese meme. Okay, first page. Black lightning fills the sky. Wow, huh? We've got still got some of the Vegapunk Sea Beast out there. And we've got the naval ships responding. We've got black lightning and fire all over the island. Well, the island's on fire, regular fire from the Buster Call. And then we've got the black lightning from the elders being summoned. What in the world? And there's Bluegrass riding on the Draft Sea Beast. It's just like when Saint Saturn arrived. We've got giants responding. The one giant carrying Frankie and Bonnie. Bonnie says, I hope everyone's okay. We've got giants and the Pacifista fighting the naval ships. Got one giant that's an archer firing arrows at the ship while the Pacifista fires the laser beams blowing up the ship. Got Dory and Brogy leading some other giant pirates deeper into the island. Now we've got the Holy Land of Marishwa. Stella, what's that? We've got the Room of Authority. What's this? Why is there no answer to everyone's dreams? Vega Coffee. So the message is still playing, and we've got a shot of the Room of Authority, and there's the huge summoning circle there with black lightning coming out of it, and all the elders have vanished. They're gone. So that proves that they're definitely gone. They've been teleported. They're coming to Egghead. We've got the Dendamushi still playing Vegapunk's message. What's this? Why is this? Stella, what's that? This? Why, it's the answer to everyone's dreams. Vega Coffee. With just a drop of it, you can transform a mug of water into a warm, delicious brew. Slurp. So, how many minutes did that kill? It wasn't exactly a strict deadline, but we still have 7 minutes. And oh boy, we've got the summoning circles, close-ups of them. Zap, zap, zap. Huh? And back to the broadcast, let's start a schedule. Even if they try to silence our broadcast, that amount of extra time won't be long enough to stop us. And we get the silhouettes again, like when Sabo was in the Room of Authority fighting Eam. We got the silhouettes, and now they're a little bit more defined here. We got one silhouette that looks like a boar of some sort. Looks like a shape kind of like a pig with tusks, so I'm assuming that's maybe a boar or a warthog of some sort. We've got one that has a bird-like shape, so I'm thinking that might be a bird of some sort. We've got one that's got what looks like 4 legs and a long neck, so perhaps a giraffe or maybe a Keelan or something horse-like. We definitely got what looks like 4 legs and has a long neck. We've got one that is kind of like a giant, looks like a giant worm so far. Maybe, I suppose, it could be a snake or something. But anyway, we've got the silhouettes. They're all coming up out of the summoning circles. They've all got the crazy eye like Saturn. So does that mean they're in their full animal forms, or? Yeah, they have to be not in their hybrid forms. So, okay, huff, huff. They're summoning. Huff, huff. I gotta let Nami-san and the others know. There's Sanji carrying Vegapunk and running away. Then Luffy, looking very shocked. There's 5 of you monsters? And now we've got Saint J. Garcia Saturn, the Gyuki, Saint Marcus Mars, the Itsumade, Saint Topman Warcurry, the Hoki, Saint Ethan Baron v. Nustro, the Bakosu, and Saint Shepherd Jupiter, the Sandworm. So we've got shots of them, the warlords, in their regular human forms and then their monstrous forms, with confirmations of what creatures they turn into. These are all references, I believe, to mythical beasts. So it's definitely looking like they are mythical zone types. So let's see. Of course, we've got Saint Saturn. He's the Gyuki, which is that spider bull thing. St. Marcus Mars, the Itsumade, which looks like that is the bird-like one. I think the bird-like one. St. Topman Mercury, the Hookie. This one is the boar pig-like one. Ethan Baron Venustro is the Bakosu, which is the horse-like one, but it's like a zombie horse. It's got skin peeling off of its face and horse skeleton teeth. So it's like a zombie, dead, dying horse giraffe thing with part of its skull exposed. Very, very monstrous. And St. Chipper Jupiter is the sandworm. So I was right about the one that looks like it's shaped like a giant worm. Interestingly, it's a sandworm. Then we've got the full double-page spread of all the beasts in their full glory. The supreme overseers of the world government, the 5 elder stars / planets. So yep, that's definitely a bird. Giant hog. The spider, of course. Okay, wow. It looks like it's a skeleton horse or giraffe with only a little bit of skin on the face covering part of the face. Everything else is fully exposed skeleton. We've got the neck with all the vertebrae on the spine, the rib cage fully exposed, and then the sandworm has a massive mouth and human teeth inside of it. Nay. Okay. So Mars just neighed, so that confirms that it is a horse-like monster, a horse zombie thing. And it looks like he's doing the eye thing that Saint Saturn does. So it looks like he can do that too. Oh yeah, I forgot to confirm that they all do have the black sort of smoke cape around them. So they all have that smoke cape surrounding them. Nay, Mars does the eye thing. It's traveling through the forest on Egghead, long distance, and targeting one of the pacifistas. And then there's a shot of, oh wait. I mistake, that's Ethan Baron Venustro doing the eye thing. All the way through the forest on Egghead, targeting a pacifista, and his head is transforming back into his human head as he does it. So what's the purpose of that? His face transforming back from the horse to his human face while he's doing the eye power towards one of the pacifistas. Oh, okay. It wasn't the eye power at all. Oh man. So what happens is he, I guess, uses his sight. So very keen sight or maybe observation hockey to see where the pacifista is, and then he charges at it full speed. While he's charging, he transforms into his hybrid form, it seems, halfway between his human and horse form. And he gets up behind the pacifista at full speed and cuts it down with a slash with a sword. What a shot. So this pacifista has been taken down, sliced by Venus Giro using his sword. And is that a black blade? Or is that just Haki imbued? So does Venus Giro... Well, this is a lot of information coming from this. Okay, speed feat here. Completely overpowers one-shots a pacifista Mark 3, which is, I think this is the only time we've seen one of them one-shot, a Mark 3 version one-shotted. I'd have to go back and look at previous chapters, but it's not something you see every day. I'm thinking Luffy could probably one-shot, but that's a speed feat, strength feat. We've got maybe confirmation of Black Blade. At the very least, it's Haki infused, so he can use armament Haki at that advanced level to coat his blade. If that's not a Black Blade, being one of the most powerful people in the world, leader of the world, it would make sense that he'd have a Black Blade. But because Black Blades have been we've really only seen one Black Blade in the story. Yeah. Not even Odin had Black Blades. It's just Mihawk. So if Venus Giro has a Black Blade as well, would that put him around Mihawk's level? Or above Mihawk? Greatest swordsman in the world. The Elder Planets consider themselves not of this world, so that would make sense. But we have and then a hybrid form, of course, it's like a centaur, but a centaur with a zombie skeleton for his horse half. So that's quite a shot. Quite a lot of information we've got. And it confirms that the Elder Planets are just going to basically go wild, wiping out everything they can as they try to get the message to stop. So taking out the pacifistas, of course, helps the Buster Call to destroy the island more quickly, because as the defenses go down, the Buster Call bombardment can continue, and that will be more likely to stop the message alongside the elders. So they're not just going right for the shield as I thought they would, but if they're going after forces on the island, that does make things a little bit more dangerous for the Straw Hats, because the 5 of them can split their efforts. And it seems like they're definitely not pushovers. So, okay. Next panel. The pacifista falls to its knees, and the officers are looking on. What? Something happened. The pacifista. Ooh, and it's not over yet. Venus Giro is continuing. He is cutting through. So that's 1, 2, Two more pacifistas in a single, swift, super swift motion. He speed blitzes right past them, slicing them in half. Is that a third one? Yes, that's a third one. Did you see that? A large horse was spotted galloping down the coastline. The pacifista on this end have all stopped. Same here. Are those slash marks? Clink. Negative. They've been partially frozen. Oh, I didn't pay attention to that. I thought it was just like power coming off of his sword, but it's actually ice. So, ice power? Venustro. Okay, swordsman. Dead skeleton horse. Ice power. These seem to echo Brook. I suppose they could also be considered like a metaphor for death, which is something that Zoro is constantly battling with. So, Venustro, but I don't see Brook fighting. I mean, actually, Brook has stood up to the Yonko before, so I could see Brook clashing with an elder, but not having an elder as a full-on battle that Brook wins. But Venustro is interesting here. We've got ice power, skeleton, skeleton horse, ice power, swordsman. He's insanely fast. So those are all traits that match up with Brook. But he's a swordsman, which lines him up with Zoro. Everyone's always suspected that Zoro would eventually fight Venustro. So, ice powers. And the Haki infused blade. Or black blade, one or the other. But he galloped across the coastline super, super fast, sliced down all the pacifista that were on the coastline. So they've all been taken down. The Marines responding. The pacifista have all stopped. On this, have all stopped. Same here. Are those slash marks? Negative. They've been partially frozen. Clink. The pacifista falls to the ground. Nami-san, Robin-chan, anyone, come in. It's hard to explain what's going on down here, but we can't waste any more time. Get out of there. Huh? Sanji-kun, what's going on? And we've got, this is Mars, the bird, flying into the air now. She was heading to the northeast shore with the Straw Hat crew. Half the pacifista have already been neutralized. Whoever did it must be an ally. Oh, wait. I missed part. These three top panels up here. Okay. These are Marine doctors examining the pacifista, it looks like. They're making an announcement. Attention all troops. This announcement is regarding the fallen pacifista. The freezing of their neural circuitry has rendered them temporarily paralyzed. And Marine officers are celebrating. Someone on our side did that? That solves the friendly fire problem. Then there's Vice Admiral Doberman. This is our chance. Eliminate Bonnie. She was heading to the northeast shore with the Straw Hat crew. Half the Pacifista have already been neutralized. Whoever did it must be an ally. You got this shot of Mars. He's flying up towards the labostratum up in the clouds. Then we've got Sanji with the broad talking to Nami. Just focus on escaping. A little monster's flying up there. You have to run now. Freeze. Okay, so this is a great shot because it's got Mars flying up towards the labostratum. If you look down, you can see the shoreline and the line of Ethan Barrow Venustro still running across the island, slicing down the Pacifista and freezing them. Freeze. Now it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Pacifista cut down here. Okay, next panel. Kiao! Boom. So Venustro is crashed through the barrier? Or is he attacking the barrier? Either way, just a single one of the elders is going to be able to shatter the barrier here. I thought it would take off 5 of them combined to go after the barrier. If one of them can shatter the barrier, okay, yeah. Things are really getting bad here. So you got Mars attacking or crashing through the barrier. It doesn't look like it's fallen, but there is an explosion there. So I guess later we'll see if there's a hole or if the barrier will collapse or what happens here. Next panel, we've got Venustro again, slicing down another Pacifista. So the question is, what are his cuts? Or is most of the damage from his cuts the ice, or is he slashing them as well? Because if we go back up to the previous page, attention all crews, this announcement is regarding the fallen Pacifista. The freezing of their neural circuitry has rendered them temporarily paralyzed. So ice froze their neural circuitry and has temporarily paralyzed the Pacifista, which means they haven't been defeated, they haven't been killed. They've been disabled, frozen. So that brings up the question, is this intentional? Is Venustro intentionally only freezing the Pacifista because they're still valuable weapons of the world government? Meaning he's capable of killing them and cutting them down and destroying them completely, but he doesn't want to because they're world government weapons and they're useful. But that does also put a time limit on these guys, the Pacifista, getting back into action. I suppose that in that time, the elders are expecting that Bonnie will be dead by the time these Pacifista are active again, so world government will be in control of them again. But we've got Venustro slicing through another one, Pacifista freezing it. Okay, and now we've got a shot of Saturn fighting with Luffy. Luffy dodging as Saturn tries to sting him with his stinger legs. Then we've got the worm slithering in the background. So that's Jupiter. Slither. And he rears up and dives at Luffy, attacking Luffy. Whoa, wow. And Luffy dodges as he slams into the ground. And Luffy says, shocked, "It's digging like a worm?" So St. Jupiter is digging Is it gonna go underground? Okay, next panel. Sanji. Usopp here. We'll be sure to run. But Zoro and Jinbei aren't back yet. We've met up with Brook and Lilith, and the ship is good too. And the ship's good to go. And we got Lilith in the background kicking Brook angrily. And the ship sort of crashed into the bamboo here. See, I told you it'd work out. Thanks to Usopp, not you. Okay, so Usopp used some of his pop stars to create a barrier for the Sunny to crash into without doing any damage to the ship. A bamboo grove. So that stopped the ship from being destroyed. Okay, next panel is Jinbei, still on the way to Zoro. Sounds like the situation is dire. If he's still fighting, I'll drag him back by force. And finally we have Zoro and Lucci fighting. Lucci strikes a blow. Is he striking a blow? Yeah, it looks like he's striking a blow, and it's knocked one of Zoro's katana out of his hand. Because it doesn't look like he's thrown it into the air intentionally. It's like a punch from Lucci. Zoro's blocking it, and his katana goes flying into the air. Whoosh! Now, Lucci, isn't it tempting to go find the source of all this strong haki? And Zoro says it's cropping up everywhere. Okay, so that confirms the elders are using haki. And it's strong haki. Lucci and Zoro have sensed the haki. And Lucci's asking, isn't it tempting to go find the source of all this strong haki? Zoro says it's cropping up everywhere. Both of them look like they've got some damage. Zoro's head is bleeding. Okay. We got Sanji talking to Jinbei. Sorry, Jinbei, it's all up to you. And Jinbei says, there they are, they're still at it. Sanji says, damn, Moss Head, he's putting everyone in danger. What a burden. Twitch. Zoro heard Sanji speaking like that. Spotted leopard. Hahava hunt. Oh no, wait. What a burden. Twitch. So then Lucci goes in, spotted handgun. So he's doing the handgun, but there's no haki on his hand, no haki coating on his hands. Katana is still spinning in the air, spinning. It's falling back towards Zoro. Looks like he dodges one of the attacks from Lucci. He grabs the sword, puts it in his mouth, 3-sword style. Spotted leopard, Hahava hunt. And he slices through Lucci. He's got all 3 of his blades coated with armament haki as he slices through Lucci. Lucci looks like he's been knocked out. He's passing out. Jinbei is looking on. What? Now we've got Luffy. What? And Jupiter is jumping up. is surfacing. He dug underground and now he's coming up under Luffy. Ooh-ah-ha! And he is surprised to see the giant worm jumping up, coming up under him. Child of the Sawing Sun. So we've got Dory and Brookie coming in, and they slice off the head of Jupiter, the worm there, both of them. Child of the Sawing Sun, is that an attack they have? Seems like it. Sliced off the head of Jupiter. Yeah! Ooh-ah, ha 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 ha. Luffy's laughing. Close one. Hang on. The old-timer giants are here too? Ga-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. It's been too long, Straw Hat. I had to come see you. The waiting around was getting unbearable. Yeah. A cover and color spread. Next issue. Okay, so a lot to take in here. We have Dory and Broggy cutting off the head of Jupiter. Obviously, they haven't killed him because he has to have at least a similar kind of regenerative capability as Saturn does, so. And he's a worm, and we all know the thing about worms, if you cut off their head, it'll become two worms. It won't die, so is that going to be what happens here? I don't think Jupiter is going to multiply. I mean, it's a possibility that he could, but I think the more likely thing is just that his head will reattach and he'll heal up and regenerate. So we got pretty much what everyone was expecting in terms of the Zoro and Lucci fight, that Zoro was getting pushed around by Lucci, but now he's taking things more seriously with the massive pressure in the situation now with the elders arriving. So he's taking out Lucci. A new attack, Spotted Leopard, Hahava Hunt. Armament Haki on all three swords. Nice big blow. Seems to have knocked out Lucci. Very big. And now have we seen all of them? No, we haven't seen War Curie in action yet. Yeah, we haven't seen War Curie in action yet. But it's a big deal with the elders on the island. No break next week. Got some notes here. Chapter notes. The title could be adapted as Falling Stars. Yes. Zoro's move. Name references. Kokoba Hahava. The coldest hell in Buddhism. Meaning boils down to leopard hunt, but he pronounces it as Madara, spotted to play off Lucci's move. So move, name references Hahava, coldest hell in Buddhism. Meaning boils down to leopard hunt, but he pronounces leopard as Madara, spotted to play off Lucci's move. Dory and Broggy's move name means Sawing Sun, but the Furigana makes it sound like Child of the Sun, making it almost seem like a continuation of their dialogue about darkness being no place for Luffy. And then here's the big one. The elder beast forms are all references to various mythical creatures. See? Yuki is a spider yokai, famous for his giant cow-like face. They attack people on the beach. Yep. That's the one everyone was talking about when Saturn first revealed his power. Itsumade is a creepy bird yokai with a human face and a snake-like body. Okay, that matches. Hoki is a monstrous boar from Chinese folklore, famous for terrorizing the countryside. Bakotsu is a skeletal yokai that is said to be the spirit of a horse that burned to death. And a sandworm is a mythical serpent or a legless dragon that appears in numerous modern fantasy franchises. Could also be related to similar creatures in works like Dune. So that explains the elders and their powers. Confirmation that there is Haki, it's strong Haki. So elders are using Haki. That at the very least is confirmed. They haven't mentioned devil fruits yet, which is interesting here. But it has to be a devil fruit because they have all the traits of devil fruit, zone type devil fruit users. They have hybrid forms where they are half animal and half their human form. They have full on human forms and they have full on monster / animal forms. So these are, and they have the billowing smoke cape of awakened zone devil fruit users. So while they haven't actually named a specific fruit for each Gorosei yet, it's looking 99% confirmed they have devil fruits and Haki. So devil fruits and Haki. That still leaves the question about the magic. But since they are mythical devil fruits, mythical zone type devil fruits, it's possible that the magic we're seeing from them is actually manifestations of their mythical devil fruits. Because mythical zone devil fruits have a secondary trait along with the primary trait of typical zone powers transforming into an animal or creature. They also have secondary traits like Marco having healing fire, for example, or Luffy having the rubber body, being made of rubber. So it's possible that the telekinesis or the telepathy, the eye paralyzing thing, the summoning, we've got ice specifically for Venustro, ice powers. Mars, I think perhaps he used fire here. It's hard to tell. There's an explosion on the barrier around the labostratum. It's hard to tell if that explosion was just because he flew at it at high speed and crashed into it, and that caused the explosion. But it also could be possible that he breathed fire, or maybe exploding is his power. So there's definitely something, perhaps fire or explosion related to Mars. Venus is displayed ice. Saturn has displayed He's displayed the teleportation, but I'm going to assume that all of them can do that. He also displayed telepathy, all of them can do that. He displayed the eye power that paralyzed, the paralyzing gaze, and the paralyzing gaze and the kill shot gaze. So it's possible that those powers are unique to him, because sometimes in media they present spiders with having sort of a paralyzing, hypnotizing sort of power. So we haven't seen Warcury, the Hooky, yet, and we haven't seen anything from the Sand Room except for the burrowing ability. So it's possible that in the next chapter we get more of that. At the very least, we have Zoro versus Lucci done. And the Zoro fans will be happy that Zoro, after all that struggle, has one-shotted Lucci. He didn't put the bandana on. Jinbei didn't have to help and or drag Zoro away from the fight, but he can guide Zoro back to the others now so that Zoro doesn't get lost. That's good. We've got the elders on the island. So, once again, we haven't seen Robin. It's starting to get suspicious at this stage, because the last time we saw Robin was so many chapters ago. And it was just a shot of Chopper telling her to rest. So she is with the group. But all of this stuff that is related to Ohara is going down here. We've got a Buster Call in action. Got the elders here, in person, in the flesh. The elders who ordered the destruction of Ohara. The very people behind the destruction of Ohara. You've got Vegapunk's announcement, which Robin will have to hear. Speaking of, there's a 7-minute timer here. So the elders have decided to split up, which goes against what I was expecting, but I should have known that they would be able to do that. I thought they would focus all their fire on breaking into the lab, destroying the lab so that the message stops playing. But it seems like what they're doing is splitting their forces. We have one going towards the lab, trying to breaking through the barrier to get into the lab, Labostratum, and attack the Straw Hats, or try and stop the broadcast. It's hard to tell. Saturn is still engaging Luffy. Kizaru is nowhere to be seen. Shepard is also engaging with Luffy, but the Giants have arrived, so now it's a little bit more of an even fight here. But still, their goal is to escape. So they might have a better chance of escaping. We haven't seen Top Man, which is suspicious here. It's probably just that he's going to be active in the next chapter. But it is suspicious we didn't even get a little bit of a taste of his ability here. Interesting. So yeah, this is really good chapter with the setup. A lot of action. Now it is looking like Straw Hats will start to regroup here. Which is good because if one of the elders ends up attacking the Straw Hats, they'll need to be together to repel one of the elders. Luffy can sort of go one-on-one with an elder by himself, but the rest of his crew is going to need to band together to repel an elder, I'm going to suspect. We've got Dorian Broggie here, which is a huge boost. So will Dorian Broggie uh, hmm. Yeah, I feel like Dorian Broggie can sort of help Luffy fight here. But if the Straw Hats get together and all reunite at the ship, and they get the message to Luffy that they've all gathered, they're on the ship and ready to get off the island, then Luffy can make his escape. But the question is, how exactly are they going to do that? With the elders, maybe it'll be as the message gets closer, or the timer runs out, the message starts playing, Vegapunk starts revealing the truth of the world. That will panic the elders, and here they will change their method from the divide and conquer strategy that they've got going on so far to uniting and heading to destroy the message before it finishes playing. And that will be the opportunity for the Straw Hats to escape from the island without the elders being there to block them and chase them. Because the way the situation is going, it's absolute chaos, and it seems like there's not an easy path right now. Not a foreseeable easy path for the Straw Hats to just get on the Sunny and get off the island quick. So there's still going to need to be some intervening factors, especially something to hold the elders off, because it's shown that they're nothing to sneeze at. So, next week's chapter is going to be very interesting. I think we're going to get closer to the announcement. We're at 7 minutes here, so I think probably we'll be closer to 5 minutes maybe at the next chapter. A 5-minute countdown. And the countdown to the message is probably going to sync up with the Straw Hats' escape from the island. That kind of seems like that would be how things would play out at this point. There's still that question mark about Robin. At this point, it has to be intentional that Robin hasn't been shown or mentioned at all in these last series of chapters. Robin hasn't been taken. She hasn't been kidnapped, at least. We know that much. Unless there's something... Yeah, unless there's something to it that we haven't... Unless there's some kind of shocking surprise to it. We know that Robin hasn't been kidnapped. But it is very odd that she's absent at this point. And it's intentional. It's got to be intentional. Maybe they're saving Robin for the very end of the chapter. Or end of the arc. If the message plays while they're escaping and Robin sees the broadcast while on the Sunny, you can get her reaction and thoughts there. And it'll be relatively safe where she can give a little bit of exposition and or input without the danger of the elders and the Buster Call and all the chaos of Egghead, because that will be over. I'm not seeing death flags for Dory and Broggy. I want them to survive. I'm very attached to those characters, so it would be very sad if anything happened to them, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be okay. But with that, I think that will be it. I will see you all next week, next chapter. Please like and comment and subscribe. And I will catch you then. Till then, take care.